So it was brought to my own attention yesterday that my intro was a little bit too long. So I think that this time I'm going to go ahead and try to lower that down just a little bit. Hello there for all you people who are watching this video. I did one yesterday about surviving Comic-Con for first-time goers. So I thought about maybe diving a little bit into more depth about certain things that you guys might need to know about your first time at Comic-Con. So let me get into some information maybe that has to do with the with some more tips and tricks and some tips that you guys might not have even thought about in the first place. One tip that you guys, I know, probably never really thought about was food and drink at Comic-Con. Okay, so one thing at Dallas or at any con really that you're going to discover is that food and drink at Comic-Con it is not good, I'll be honest. So you know, I've been to multiple Comic-Cons in the past. I've been to Kansas City, Georgia, Colorado, New Mexico, and Texas, of course. And one thing that I've noticed is that the Comic-Con food 9 times out of 10 is never great. And also it's overpriced. I'm not going to say that all Comic-Con food is bad. I'm just saying that a majority of it is not that great. Not because, you know, they don't want it to be, but because, you know, it's Comic-Con. And, you know, you can charge a lot more for a lot less of the goods that you're wanting to get. You know, you can charge quite a bit of money. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it happens. So, you know, if you're like me, you know, you're mostly going to Comic-Con for the autographs and, you know, waiting in line and things like that. So one thing that I've always learned to help me maybe cut down my budget or, you know, help, you know, with like the budget factor is to bring your own snacks. You know, whether that just be a delicious, healthy, nutritious snack throughout the day. Plus, you know, if you have kids, you know, you're going to want to bring those snacks for them because, you know, I mean, waiting in line is sometimes hours long, you know, and kids get hungry. So planning Comic-Con with children is very tedious work because, you know, especially with multiple kids, because, you know, multiple kids means, you know, that a few kids are going to get hungry or a few kids are going to get fussy, and then all that could really lighten their day is just a snack. So one thing I've always recommended to people is to bring a lunchbox filled with healthy and nutritious snacks, maybe with your own spoons and utensils, so that way, you know, you don't have to worry about trying to find them something to eat along the way, you know, and spending about an extra $20 or $30 on a tiny pizza whenever you could just turn around and have some yogurt or some string cheese or, you know, even a PB&J sandwich might make the most of their day. Plus, in the long run, it could save you about, I don't know, a lot less money. You know, like it could save you $20 to $30, you know, on food alone, or even more, considering that you would also have to feed yourself. It's okay to bring your own food. You know, I mean, those people there at the show are going to have a lot of people there. So, you know, they're going to make their own money without your assistance. You know, it's not really cutting down on their profit margin if you bring your own food. You know, and then, you know, you've got drinks. Like, let's talk about drinks for a moment. Drinks there are $4 a bottle, whenever you could literally go to the store and buy a 6-pack of the same drink for about the same amount of money that you would a bottle of Dr. Pepper or Pepsi or whatever it is that they have available for you there at the show. So always recommend to spend about, I don't know, $10 on something to drink, you know, whether that be a case of water, so that way you can use it throughout your day and throughout your weekend there at the show. You know, I can't tell you how it saved me this year, especially whenever I went to Planet Comic-Con Kansas City with my parents. You know, we brought our own snacks, and let me tell you, it was a huge lifesaver, you know, because we didn't have to worry about trying to find snacks or get out of line or anything along those lines while we were waiting for our autographs. We could just sit there and eat along the way. You know, we could sit there and eat on the floor or, you know, whatever. One thing that I've noticed is that You know, a lot of people bring their own chairs. Me personally, I bought this little sitting stool at Bassett Pro for $10. And I can tell you that actually was a lifesaver in general. I didn't even think that I was going to use it, but it was just a little tiny stool that you could fit inside of a backpack for $10. You know, it could really, you know, help save your time, you know, of trying to find a place to sit, or even just sitting on the floor. It could really, you know, be a lifesaver to you if you don't like sitting on the floor. You know, you could just sit in that little stool and wait for your autographs and things like that while you're eating your food. You know, it's a double time saver. You know, they get the chance to come to the booth and you get to eat without having to leave from your previous spot to run and try to go halfway across the convention center to try to find some lunch or a snack or anything like that and spend extra money. You already have that available to you. And there's no shame in just, you know, going ahead and buying it, or taking it from home if you live locally. You know, like, don't hesitate to just bring your own food from local areas, or, you know, or from your own home if you can. You know, if you're not local and you're driving, bring a ice chest full of food. I mean, that's something to do. Or, you know, a Walmart grocery buy it. I'm not really sure what you guys like to do there. But, you know, there's no shame in bringing your own food to a convention. Nobody is going to judge you. In fact, you can even bring some for friends. I mean, this year I went to Comic-Con and I had a list of fruit snacks that, you know, I just brought like a whole bunch of little packages, and then I split it with a few people at the show so that way they didn't have to, you know, spend $10, $15 a pop on food. So again, no shame in bringing the food. And this is something that most Comic-Con goers do not talk about or even think about whenever it comes to the food. You know, I mean, they don't talk about, you know, bringing in their own food because, you know, they just don't think about it. So I'm kind of hoping that this, guys, helps you out just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And yeah, I believe that one's a good one. Another first-time goer would probably have to be along the lines of, you know, always bring extra cash. I know that I discussed that in a previous video, of, you know, buying autographs and things like that, you know, like buying your autograph from the celebrities that don't do pre-buys. You know, one other thing that I can recommend to you guys is always bring just a little bit of extra cash, whether that be $30 or $40 or even sometimes $60. One mistake that I personally just made not too long ago was I was getting my friend's son a poster for Sonic, and what happened is that whenever I bought his autograph for a Sonic, I realized later on, whenever I got into his line, that it was $20 more to sign a poster. I don't know why, but for some reason, Kansas City did not have that on their website. Like, Planet Comic Con did not have that on their website at all, that it was going to be an extra $20 for your own poster to be signed. So my poster was pretty big, mind you. You know, it was for my friend's son, and, you know, I was just trying to get him something nice for, you know, the holidays and his birthday. You know, he didn't, you know, like the actor, of course, was very kind about it, and, you know, they did it for the $20 less because I told him what had happened and that I wasn't prepared to spend an extra $20. Well, that was a lesson learned on my end, and from now on, whenever I go and do things for people, you know, I ask a little bit more of extra funds, just in case I bring something there that cost extra to get signed. Luckily, I was in a good spot to where I didn't have to worry about that much, you know, or, you know, they were very kind about fixing it for me because it did not state on the website that an extra $20 was to be added for items. I am not sure when Comic-Con or when, they started doing that. But I guess, since Comic-Con has gotten more mainstream, a lot of people have been bringing a lot more different items to be signed, and so a lot more bulky collectibles or things like that. And, I guess that agents have discovered that they could make a little bit more money charging those people to get those things signed. Not that it's a bad thing. I get it. Capitalism, and coronavirus and things like that. People have lost a lot of money on their revenue. But, it can be a little bit upsetting to find that out, I guess, like I did. So don't be like me and only discover that your autograph is $20 more. Be prepared for that, just in case they don't state that on the website. Be prepared to spend a little bit more for collectibles now. Mercedes, I'm not really sure who she is, but I know that she was a Japanese wrestler. She charges about $30 more for Star Wars things and wrestling items now. I didn't really spend it on her, to be fair. And it might be a little bit of a call out, but she's like one of the only ones that I saw so far that's doing that. Hayden Christensen is also apparently doing that now. Still waiting for my autograph, man. Not just kidding. But, it can be a little bit tedious to go to those conventions and then find out that you didn't save or, bring enough money for those things that you're most likely wanting to get signed. So just always be prepared for that moment, just in case you run into that situation. If it's a bigger actor, definitely put a little bit more money back for that particular moment. Don't hesitate to put back about $40 or $50 if it's a little bit more mainstream. And also one thing that I like to point out is that there are like people or, certain actors who I guess are charging more money for quotes. That one, again, not really something that I would recommend, buying. I don't think that personally, people should be charging that amount of money for quotes, especially people like Hayden Christensen. But, I think that $300 is quite a bit of money to spend on that. But, if you guys want to, spend your money on that, by all means, do whatever you feel like you want to do. There's no shame in just, getting that actor to sign it, because in the end, having the actual actor do that and you are able to prove it, it could get you a lot more money for that specific item that you got. It could get you a lot more money just for that quote alone, along with the signature on, what they did. Also, maybe don't hesitate to put the date down on when they signed it. I know I started doing that with my Captain America shield. Yes, for some people who have seen me at Comic-Cons, I'm probably known as the girl with the Captain America shield signed by a whole bunch of random people who make absolutely no sense. And if you guys want to see it, I bet you I could probably grab it real fast. Hold on. Here is the said shield that I have gotten over the past year. As you can see, just about every single actor who has signed it has stated their name right next to it. And I'm sure you're wondering, MJ, why do you have such a really weird shield signed by a whole bunch of random actors that make no sense? Well, this was just a personal choice, a personal matter, and, gotta say, it's probably like one of my most favorite things in my collection. It is quite fun to do, and keep in mind, I am the first person to ever do this, and a lot of actors signed it for free. I don't like to say it out loud, but, a lot of actors really wanted to be a part of the situation. I'm not going to tell you which actors, because I promise to keep their privacy, but it is one of my favorite things that I have ever gotten signed for in my life. All the blue right here are Star Wars actors, and then on the outer rim are just actors that I've gotten in general. So, if you guys are looking for something fun to do, never hesitate to do it. Just don't steal the Captain America shield idea, because that was mine first. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, try to steal it, see what happens. Just kidding. Maybe. And, one other thing that I can always recommend, maybe if you guys like, getting things signed, or at least for autograph's sake, is one other item that could never fail you wrong is prints. Prints are probably one of my most favorite items to get signed by actors. Why? Because I can put them in my cases, and then I can showcase them around my living room and still know that they're going to be safe. You know, the safety of my autographs are very important to somebody like me, because I love autographs. I really, really do. And, you know, buying those prints from those artists, you know, sometimes that can just be really nice, because then you have something unique for those actors to sign instead of something just so generic and plain like their 8x10s. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have plenty of 8x10s signed by actors. I do. But it's never as fun as getting the actual prints from those artists' signs. Not only does it help out, you know, young independent businesses that, you know, make money off of those things getting signed, but also it's just in general good for, you know, yourself, because then you have something unique. You have something that not very many actors have in general signed, and you can showcase that off to the world, that, you know, just saying, hey, you know, this is what I have signed, this is a very unique thing, you know, and not very many people have that, because, you know, I mean, it's unique. It's something different. I know that some people don't like their, you know, their prints to be signed, but I do. And if you can tell behind me on my walls that it goes all the way down. You know, I have quite a few of them, and there is nothing I love more than the prints that I have received and bought. It is truly a wonderful thing to have prints. You know, and what is nice about prints is that they could also be used with regular Sharpie. You know, regular Sharpie is something that I've always recommended to people for prints, you know, for other things such as like toys or action figures or action figure boxes or even pops in general. I'd recommend maybe getting it signed with paint pens, because it's a lot more easier for the actual autograph to stay on the box, because, you know, it's done with those like those oils and stuff that have everlasting, you know, protection. It saves and preserves the autograph that you're wanting to have for a very, very long time. So yeah, don't hesitate to do paint pens. Most actors will have those paint pens on their actual tables. So for you new timers that come here to do this stuff, don't worry about not having a Sharpie or not having something for them to sign, because 9 times out of 10 the actor usually does at their table. The actor is mostly prepared for that very question for you to be able to get your things signed by a paint pen. But to say this, there is no shame in bringing your own. You know, there is no shame in bringing your own paint pens out there, because, you know, sometimes they don't. And, you know, it never hurts to be prepared to have those paint pens available if need be to different actors. They're not going to get upset with you, and they're not going to be mad because you brought in your own pens. In fact, they might even be thrilled about it, because, again, some actors just don't have it. So don't be ashamed to bring your own stuff up there sometimes, because sometimes, you know, the actor might need it for their stuff. So I guess that's all I can really say about autographs and things like that you're wanting to get signed. I guess we can talk about photo ops now. So photo ops are fun little photo opportunities that you will receive whenever you go to Comic-Cons. You won't just like necessarily receive them for free, mind you, but it is an offering that a lot of actors do, where you can take a professional picture done by a professional photographer at the show. Most photo ops are they range from usually around the $50 to about the $200, $270 range, maybe sometimes like $300. It all just really depends on what you're doing as far as the photo op and who it is with. Now, if you're doing Star Wars, yeah, Star Wars autographs are going to be, well, photo ops are going to be quite a bit. And there's some times where it is lucky where, you don't have to spend as much money. I have a couple of Star Wars photo ops as well. Not very many, but I do have a couple. Two of which I do have are one with the Clone Wars trio of Ashley Eckstein, James Arnold Taylor, and Matt Lanter in one autograph. In one photo. And let me tell you, I had a blast doing those. They are fun, but I will tell you this, they're not something that you're going to want to chat about. It's real quick. You get to say maybe hi to the actor, give them maybe like a quick hug if you are fast enough, and then they take the photo and then you walk away to get to the next one. Why did they do this, you may ask? Like, why do you ask, or why is it that they have it to where it's super duper quick on those time periods? Is because, for one, whenever they do those photo ops, they like to get them done real quick so that way the actor can go back to doing what they've been doing for a while, signing autographs. Make sure that whenever you get the photo op that you are on time. They will have a set time set off for you in groups to get those photo ops done. Make sure that you're on time. Make sure you're sometimes even 10 or 10-15 minutes early, because if you are not and you are late, there is not going to be a refund for you for that photo op. Do not be late to your photo ops. I cannot stress this enough, because if you are late, you will not get what you are looking for. You will not receive the photo op that you're looking for. A photo op is something that is just super duper quick and super fast. Anybody will tell you that a photo op is not personal. So if you're wanting to do something personal with the actor but still receive that picture for around the same price, you could go up to the actor's booth, and most of the time they will do what's called a phone selfie, which is just that, a selfie done on your phone. It gives you a little bit more time to talk to the actor, thank them for your childhood, or thank them for whatever it is that you're going to thank them for, or even just in general talk with them for a minute. It gives you more of a chance to do that without having to worry about rushing off for the next person to do their photo op. Definitely, if you're looking for a chance to say hi to an actor but not have to be in as crazy big of a hurry, a selfie would be more your speed to go towards. And there is absolutely no shame in doing that, because, sometimes, you might find it to be a little bit cheaper than doing an actual photo op. Like, for instance, and sometimes if you're wanting a photograph and like a selfie and an autograph, sometimes they have a little bit better deals on top of that. So definitely take advantage of those deals, because you might be able to find an autograph, and a selfie a lot cheaper, because you could pay with cash for the selfie. The selfie would be about sometimes even $10 to $15 less with all the convenience fees and the online fees for just paying for a photo op. If you pay for a selfie, most of the time they don't sell it until you get there at the show. So you are only paying cash, which means there would be no tax added onto the transaction. So there's going to be no tax in general added on to the selfie price that you're paying. So if you're looking for something that is just going to get you to be able to talk with the actor, definitely do a selfie, not a photo op. But if you're looking for a professionally done photo that you get a physical copy of later, definitely do the photo op, because the photo ops can be very fun. If you guys want to see a photo op or an example of a photo op that has been done, I will show you right now. Here is my photo op of Ashley, Matt, and James Arnold Taylor that I took last year. Yes, that is me proposing to Ashley, or Ahsoka Tano, because Ahsoka Tano is by far my favorite Star Wars character of all time. She always has been, and she always will be. But this is the kind of stuff that I find fun for myself. Like, I don't really like to take the traditional photo ops. And yes, Matt Lancer was holding my Captain America shield that he signed previously that night before. So yeah, don't hesitate. Oh, and Obi-Wan is over there wondering why in the world I would choose Ahsoka over him. Or at least that's how I picture it in my head with this picture. Don't hesitate to ask for those crazy photo ops. The worst that the actor could say is no, that they don't want to do it. In fact, Ashley was so excited after I did that photo op with him that she wanted to see how it turned out herself. And so, she actually ran over to the camera lady and looked, and she was like, your photo op is going to turn out gorgeous. And I was like, really? And, it was so funny to watch Ashley just be all super giddy. She is an absolute sweetheart. I will not continue my beautiful rant of how much I love her. But if I could, I would go on for hours about how great Ashley Eckstein is. Same with Matt Lanter and same with James Arnold Taylor. I love all three of them. They are so sweet. And yeah, that is basically some fun stuff that you can do in a photo op. But you don't have to go as extreme as me whenever it comes to that fun stuff. You could literally do whatever you want, so long as the actor is okay with it, or the actors are okay with it. You don't have to do something as crazy as me. You guys could just, do back-to-back, or, wrap, wrap your shoulder, like have them wrap their arm around your shoulder, or even just, not even touch at all. It's up to you. And some actors, might have that plexiglass. I was fortunate enough that I didn't have to deal with that with those three actors right there. But let me just say for photo ops that there are some that do plexiglass. Most of the time, you are going to be able to find out early if they do, like Vincent D'Onofrio, I think that's his name. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that Mr. D'Onofrio does his stuff with plexiglass, and I think that he's the only one so far in Dallas that's going to be doing it that way. But usually, if you are not comfortable with the plexiglass, they understand there, and they will refund you for your autograph. Not autograph, but photo op. I keep wanting to say autograph. Sorry, but they will refund you for your photo op for that said actor, or at least that's what I saw on the website. I hope that that's true, but I guess we will see and find out there at the show. And, yeah, so that's going to be fun. I hope that this kind of goes into a little bit more depth about what I'm discussing. I think this might be getting just a little bit too long there, but I hope that you guys kind of gotten some help about certain things that you guys might have questions about. Anyways, have a great afternoon. Stay safe, everybody, and may the force be with you. Live long and prosper. And let me know if there's any questions that you guys might have in the comment section below. I don't like to put this, but I guess I should. If you want to, like and subscribe, I guess, or don't. If you didn't like it, I don't really care either way. Yeah, okay, bye-bye.